Hi everyone, and in today's video we'll be covering the topic family and kinship from your Sociology class 12. So now family, we all are born into a family and we have spent long years within it. We very strongly about our family, and we sometimes feel very good with our parents, grandparents, siblings, uncles, aunts, whereas with some other people we don't. And sometimes we even don't like their interference within ourselves, and we just try to avoid them and stay away from them. But family is also a space of great warmth and care. Although I would not ignore that yes, it is a site of bitter conflicts, injustice and violence as well. The female infant decides the violent conflicts between the brothers over property and the legal disputes. They are very much a part of family and kinship. But as well as there is compassion, there is sacrifice, there is care. So family is something that is permanent and universal, and we can't ignore it. So the structure of family can be studied both as a social institution and also in its relationship to the other institutions. Now, also here in Sanskrit texts, family is called a clan, and there is the sharing of resources among all the members of the family. They stay together, they cooperate, they use the available resources. So family is basically a group of people who are related to each other, right? And this relation can be with two things. Either they're related to each other legally or biologically. Legally means by marriage, and biologically means by blood. So the group of people who are related to each other either legally by marriage or biologically by blood. So they are a unit of people living together, and they are sanctioned by society. That is the reason in context with society we are studying in, it's a social institution that we say. So I hope that a broad meaning is clear to you. When I talk about the feelings associated with family, so definitely there is going to be a bond of togetherness. We all feel attached, we all feel united. There is a sense of security, there is a sense of sacrifice and belongingness. Right? So these are some features or characteristics of family. Now we will be discussing about family and the dimensions, the compositions, the structure, everything. But let me before that give you a brief introduction about as to what is kinship, the meaning of kinship. So kinship is nothing but basically it's a person who is related to the other, again biologically or legally. So if there is any relation between two people, either biologically or legally, and we have studied this in your class 11 as well. So legally it's by marriage, so it's alignal, for example the spouse or the in-laws, and biologically by blood it's consanguineous, so it's basically your parents. This is the example of kinship. Now let's study about the classification of family. Family in terms of its size. So there are mainly three types. There is the nuclear family, there is a joint family, and there is an extended family. So in the nuclear family, there is the parents are there, the mother and the father, and they have their kids, their children. Okay, they have their kids. That's it. The nuclear family, it's very small. It's just the parents and children are there. In the joint family, there are 2 or 3 generations which are living together. 2 or 3 generations as in, so there are the grandparents, then the grandparents, they have their own kids, own children, right? But let's say there is the boy of this set of parents, and then he gets married and they have again their children. So there are 2 or 3 generations living together. Then we have extended family. What happens is there are 2 or more siblings. So in this case, when you just shift, so this set of parents have one boy. Let's say they have one more boy, that is they are 2 brothers, so they along with their spouse are staying together, and then they have their children. So extended family, for example in our family if you have a chacha, chachi or tauji, so in that case it's an extended family living together in the same house. Then the second class, the basis of residence, again we have 3 types: patrilocal, matrilocal and neolocal. So in patrilocal what happens that after marriage the girl goes to boy's house. Okay, in the matrilocal the boy goes to girl's house, and in the neolocal the couple sets up their own house. Then the third classification is based on the descent. So basically there is patrilineal, matrilineal and bilineal. So matrilineal, here the males are basically the male's surname is adopted and the lineage is traced through father. Also, the property transfer, the property inheritance will be given to the males. Okay, in the matrilineal, again here the mother's surname is used, the lineage is traced through the mother, and the property it is inherited by the females. In the bilineal, it's not mentioned in your book, but it's just for the information that here the property is shared. So basically there are two types of property. There is movable and immovable. So the immovable property goes to the boy and movable to the girl. Immovable, for example, the land, house. Movable, like the jewelry, the money, it goes to the daughter or the girl. Then the next we study is the diverse forms of the family. So here basically they are talking about the patriarchal, the matriarchal, matrilineal families. Matriarchy. In the patriarchy, the power and authority is with the males who are going to make all the important decisions. They are the ones who are going to exercise the dominance, and in the matriarchy, it is the women and it is the female who is going to play a dominant role, and the power and authority is given to the female. Now, the matriarchy and matrilineal, the examples are in the Meghalaya and Kerala. So in the Meghalaya, the Garo, Khasi, Jaintia tribes, and in Kerala, it's the Nair family which follows matriarchy and matrilineal procedures. Then there is something called role conflict here, which is seen. So basically, what happens here that the women, they are considered to be the token authority, whereas male they have the de facto one. So basically, what happens? Role conflict arises when the women thinks that the male, is he paying attention to my family or his family, and the male is like, should I pay more attention to my family or my sister's family? So it's something like that, and not much is explained in the book, but this is what you should know. Now here I come to the conclusion of the video, and I would also like to remind you here that this is just a one-shot revision of this particular topic. For the in-depth analysis and in-depth explanation, there will be a separate video if you want. Here we have just skimmed through the contents of the NCERT so that we're able to refresh all the topics in the pointers before going to an exam. Thank you.